What's up, people? I am back for another video. Today we are reviewing Cloverfield. The first one. I might do the other ones, maybe, but I'm just for now. We'll do the first one. I'll see how. I'll probably at least do Cloverfield Lane. I don't think I have any interest in the Paradox one because I heard that was shit. So I might just do the original and then maybe we'll do 10 Cloverfield Lane because that is really good. But today we are reviewing the first Cloverfield. I remember seeing this in theaters back in 2008, and I remember at the time, because it was set in New York, a lot of people were thinking this was going to be a Godzilla 98 sequel because it was in New York and all that, but I'm kind of happy it wasn't. I actually love the creature design in this movie, and I love that you don't really get an origin. You kind of do. You got to look it up. Like, apparently it crash landed on Earth and whatever, but you got to look that up. It just kind of exists. And I love how the beginning of the movie, they kind of speed run through a lot of the relationship drama. So the movie's about our main character Rob and his girlfriend Beth, who they've got a little bit of an argument before she storms off, and then the creature attacks. And then they find out Beth's stuck back at the building, and Rob and his friends decide to go back and get her. Um, and that's pretty much really the movie. It's this group trying to survive. They run into the creature throughout. I love this shot where they're getting to the bridge and their friend Jason's trying to go to the bridge, and then you see the creature's tail just smash down. And I think another thing I really love about this movie, and I think I was saying it for a while, I love how they were able to keep it cinematic but also do the whole found footage thing. I really love that it wasn't just one of these found footage movies where it's just like the camera shaking the entire time because they think that's realistic, but like visually it looks like shit and it's hard to watch. So I'm happy they didn't go that route. Like the shot of like probably like it's not the opening, but early in the movie. When you get the shot of the creature, you don't see the creature, but you see that the Statue of Liberty head fly into frame. I love that shot. Or the shot of when the creature's tail smashes the bridge. Like, they were able to keep that cinematic, but also still do it found footage style. So I really love that they did a good job. I like most of our leads. I think they're believable. And like I said, I like how they speed run through the drama. You know, they get all that shit out in the beginning, and then once shit gets real and shit breaks down, the movie starts. They don't drag it out with like the relationship stuff. Once shit gets real, the movie starts. Let's go. You know? I really like that they did that. Because in a situation where you got like a giant monster attacking a city, you gotta keep the relationship. Because I get people have their feelings, but when a giant like monsters attacking the city, I want that realism of these people trying to survive, and I like that. You mostly like the group, and they do everything right. You know, they try to save their friend. They end up saving Beth, and the movie's pretty short too. It's only like an hour and like 24 minutes, something like that. It's not a long movie at all. I love the part where there's another female friend of theirs. She dies because she gets bitten by it because the creature has babies that kind of spout off of it. Like it's little babies. And so I like that they have smaller ones too. And I actually dig the look. And I love when you first see them in the subway, because there's a point where the group runs into the subway when you get this big fight above land when you got the creature fighting the military. So they decide to run into the subway. They walk through it. And then that's when the parasites attack. And I think Melinda was the name of their other friend. That's the one who blows up. Because they get to a medical center with the military and they're trying to take her to like because she's been bitten, and I guess they bite you, they infect you, and she ends up exploding. And you don't fully see it because it's behind like a sheet, but you do see through the sheet, so you do kind of still see it. And yeah, there's a point they get saved by the military. They're getting on a helicopter. They think they kind of have killed the creature or stunned it. Nope, it rises up and then slams the helicopter down, killing most of the remaining friends outside of Rob and Beth, and they hide under like a bridge, which ends up getting destroyed by the creature, so they end up dying in the end. So I really love this movie. I love how it's shot. I love the characters. I think it's a great monster movie. I love the look of the creature. I love the ending shot where it kills the cameraman, which is probably like the most iconic. It's probably gonna be the thumbnail for the video. But that iconic shot of the creature staring down, grabbing the guy, and then eating him. Like, and then the camera just drops. So, I really love this movie. I think more people need to see it. I think it's a movie that kind of people forget about, honestly, the first Cloverfield. I feel like this is a movie that, like, I think a lot of people don't know about. It's kind of, in a way, kind of got taken out of the zeitgeist. You don't really see people talking about this movie that much anymore. Not, at least not. I remember when it first came out, it was a big movie. Like, when it came out back in 2008, yeah, it was a big deal. But I feel like as the years go by and time goes by, I just feel like it's one of those movies that is weirdly kind of gotten forgotten about, and I don't think it deserves that fate, because I think it's a really well done monster movie. You know, great creature design, you have decent characters. It's not like Godzilla -1 or anything, but you have decent enough character work to where you at least feel bad for the characters when they die, and they're not like just fodder. And I think, in my opinion, it's probably the best found footage movie, because I like how they make use of the footage, but they also still, like I said, try to make it cinematic, where you get all these like great looking shots, and it's not just shaky camera the entire time, like like Blair Witch. Like, that's enough. That's like a perfect example of a really bad found footage movie, is that one, where you couldn't see shit. It was just the camera just shaking everywhere. So I like that this movie wasn't that. It didn't fall into that trap. I like that while it was a found footage movie, they kept it big scale, right? With the, you know, the shots of the buildings getting destroyed, or you get the military battle and all that. So I love how they were able to keep a sense of scale, like, especially with the creature, especially in the last shot where it's about to eat the cameraman. You get how big it is, even though it's a found footage movie. So honestly, I wish more people watch this movie, because I definitely think it's kind of gotten forgotten about over the years. I feel like it's a movie a lot of people don't talk about, and it's a really good one. So probably, like I said, probably the video title is gonna be best found footage movie, because in my opinion, it is the best found footage movie. Because more often than not, in found footage movies, they get really lazy, like with the characters, and they just make them all shitty just because, oh, it's a found footage movie, so we don't really have to try with the character work, right? Like the Paranormal Activity movies. I didn't mind the second one or even the first one, but a lot of the later ones, they got real lazy with the characters. They feel, oh, it's found footage, so you don't really need to care about the characters. This isn't like a normal movie. I feel like a lot of them just fall into the trap of, there's your generic family or whatever fodder, the ghost or whatever creature's gonna kill you, and we're just gonna have them record. I like that this movie didn't do that. They try to at least have you like the characters. I'm not saying they're all perfect. I thought some of the characters' acting wasn't great, but it was mostly fine, and I liked the lead. I actually thought he had a good dynamic with Beth. You don't get a lot of Beth, because there's a portion where he has to try to go save her, right? So, but yeah, I think it's. Oh, there's a shot of the store too. This is where they go hide in the store, and you just see the ground shaking. I thought that was all done well. So you even get the sense of scale with that, and you're not even seeing the creature on screen. So, but yeah, I really like this movie. If I were to rate it, probably 9 out of 10. I think it's mostly a really good movie, and especially if I were to rate it as a monster movie, it's very high. You had fun creature stuff. You had decent enough characters. The story was simple. Yeah, that's really all I could say. So, I'm gonna keep y'all posted. We didn't end up streaming Pin Down this week. Cream just wasn't feeling great, but we should be back on Wednesday for Dynamite. I'll keep you posted on that. And then tomorrow we should be doing, for Cowman Reviews, reviewing The Patriot. So I'll keep y'all posted if something happens and we don't end up streaming. But we should be tomorrow. So I'll keep y'all posted about that. But anyways, let's get into Cloverfield. So the movie starts, you kind of meet Rob and his group of friends. So it starts like April 27th, then we jump to May, where they're throwing a surprise party for Rob because he's getting ready to leave for Japan. And he ends up hooking up with this girl named Beth, but they had like kind of like a one-night stand, and they weren't really serious, so she ends up bringing a date. They kind of get into it. So I like I said, they keep the relationship drama shit in the beginning of the movie. They almost like speed run through it. They don't really harp on it once shit hits the fan, and I like that because I do hate that in monster movies or even just movies where crazy shit happens and you still try to have like family drama or whatever drama within the movie. I get it, humans are complicated, but I also feel like if a situation like an alien monster attack, some crazy shit's happening, we should be worrying about the crazy shit and not harping on drama. I don't like when movies do that. Like, oh, we gotta still have this relationship drama even though there's like fucking aliens attacking or like a monster attacking a city. Like, we should try to survive now. I don't like when they harp on drama just because we gotta have drama. When you already have the creature attacking, you don't need the extra added on drama. I just feel like it just makes these kind of movies hard to watch. Because for me personally, when I watch a monster movie, I do want my monster destruction and the characters trying to survive. Not, oh, we gotta have them argue about their feelings and their relationships and shit. I don't mind that sometimes if it's done well, but a lot of the time it isn't. So I like that this movie kind of speed runs through it in the beginning, and then pretty early on the kind of earthquakes start, and then they all start running outside because shit's happening. That's when they run to the store. You start seeing the city kind of being like destroyed, and they see on the news, you see this creature attacking the city, and then it's starting to get closer, and then this is where you get the iconic shot of the Statue of Liberty head just getting thrown, which I fucking love that shot. I'm not gonna lie, watching that in the theater was great. And I kind of wish I watched it in theaters again, and I only saw it the once when it came out, but I would have loved to have seen this in theaters again. I love that shot. Or even the scene where they're hiding in the store, and the ground shaking. You don't fully know what's happening, but you know something is happening, and because I think it's in New York, so it's not like they get earthquakes like that, so that's why, like, the ground shaking, that's not normal. And the creature attacks. It's where they get closer to the bridge. Jason tries to run for help, and yeah, this is where he dies on the bridge, because when he runs on the bridge, you see the tail of the creature smash the bridge, which I love that shot too. Like, that was a good shot. Like, there are some really good shots in this movie. Like, they really do a good job. Like I said, how they're able to keep that sense of scale even though you're doing a found footage movie, because they could have just abandoned that and not even try to make it look cinematic, just go for the uber, we gotta fucking do a lot of the shaky. You don't get none of that in this movie. So the group then tries to run away, and this is where they get to, I think, Manhattan or something like that, and then this is where you get a battle between the military, and there's like a shot of you see like it's like a Humvee or some kind of tank driving, and then you see the shot of the foot of the creature smash the vehicle. That was a cool shot. I love the cinematography. Like I said, the group's like running away, and at this point too, I think is where he finds out that Beth, because I think she calls him, and she was talking about how the creature was eating people, and that she's trapped under a wall, and that because she's back at the building they were just at. So he decides to go get her back, which is, like, you could argue is dumb in reality, but it's fine. I thought they had a decent enough relationship that it's like, I don't really have a problem with them doing that. So they end up running into into the underground. They run like into the subway, because this is where the creature, this is actually where you get a really good shot of the creature like walking over going at the military, because the military is like on this side and the creature's coming this way. So you see the creature before they run downstairs into the subway. So this is where they go to the subway. Also, there you get a quick shot of the little parasites that it kind of sprouts off. It's like its babies, basically, that are smaller, but they can infect you. So you get a shot of them before, but I don't think the group sees it. I think you just see it on camera. So yeah, they end up going in the subway. Since there's, no subway running, they decide, we're just going to walk through the subway and try to get to the other side. So they end up trying to do that. And it's mostly quiet for a little bit. And I will say, too, the movie is paced very well. It goes, like, once the creature attacks and you hear all the calamity and all the shit happening, the movie gets going. Like, there's no real slow point. And like I said, this movie's only, like, an hour and 24 minutes. It's not a long movie at all. They end up, this is where they run into the creatures, and it ends up biting their friend Melinda, and she's starting to, like, get more and more sick. She seemed fine at first, and then obviously she gradually starts getting more and more sick. And I think this is where they run into the military, because they have like a little little base where they're taking the infected, because you find out that the parasites that they bite you, they spread like some kind of disease through your body. So the biohazard people try to take her, and this is where you see her explode, because she's like deteriorating fast. So I even dig the design of the smaller ones, like, or the babies, if you want to call them that. The little smaller creatures, I like the design for them. So yeah, I think at this point, they reach the apartment. So they find out Beth's injury isn't as bad as it seemed. She's not trapped under walls, just a little bit of rock, like a little bit of the concrete from the wall, and then she's trapped in like a rebar. They manage to get her out, and at this point is where the creature attacks, because you see it come through the window, which I really like. You see it, like, really good shot. Like, you look out the window and you see it walking towards, because I think there's like a more big battle. And they run into the military. Like, this movie is quick, man. That's why, like I said, this review's probably not going to be long, because we're pretty much near the end of the movie. Because at this point, I think they try to get out of the building. They manage to run into the military. They find a helicopter and try to evacuate them in the middle of fighting the creature. And you get more cool shots of it. I really like, and you see, like, it apparently, I'm assuming it's like its heart or something that's in its head that's like beating like that, which I like. It has a really unique design. I love how it just kills them in the end, because they try to evacuate. They think, like, they hit it with some kind of explosive. Seemingly they think they kill it, but no, it recovers and smacks the helicopter out of the air, and it kills basically a little bit of, like, kills the other lady. And then Rob and Beth, I think, are injured. The cameraman's injured, and then this is where you get the iconic, like, he's standing in the field, and this is where you get that iconic shot of the creature looking down on him before it grabs him. I really love that shot. I still probably think I get we had to see Rob and Beth die, but part of me would have preferred if they had ended the movie with the shot of the creature eating the cameraman. Maybe Rob, you switch scenes. Maybe Rob and Beth, and then the camera guy gets separated somehow, and then they hide in the bridge, and then you can have their death, and then you end it with the creature eating him. I think that would have just been a better shot, but whatever. That's a side point, but I do love this shot. It, like, just stares at him, and then it grabs him, and then it eats him. Then it kind of throws him back down, so it doesn't eat him fully, and then you see, like, the camera just leaning there. I think, Rob has his own camera, and it's him and Beth kind of telling their feelings to each other while there's a battle up, like, above them, and the bridge or whatever they're under is starting to, like, falter because obviously you got like this creature fight and you got this, a bunch of shit happening on above them. So, that building is starting to fall apart. Either an explosion happens, or I think the creature stomps the building down, and then you see the rubble fall and kills Beth and Rob. And I'm pretty sure that's how the movie ends. It's a dark ending. None of the main characters make it out. Rob and Beth, kind of get to tell each other their feelings, but it's not really a happy ending. And I think they kind of knew they were gonna die, too. So, but overall, man, Cloverfield's it's a really good one. I'm definitely gonna start probably putting this in the rotation more often because it really is just a simple monster movie. I love how simple they keep it. I love the camera work. I love the creature design. I think it's one of my favorite creature designs in the franchise. Not in the franchise, but just in movie and monster history. I love the design of it. I didn't appreciate it I like the movie, but I didn't necessarily appreciate the creature design as much at the time, but now, it looked really good when you actually got some really good shots of it. So my favorite thing about this movie is the shots, man. Even the shot of the creature just destroying the vehicle, where you just see its foot smash the vehicle. That looked cool. Or the shot of its tail smashing the bridge. Or you see it, like, before they run into the subway, you see the creature, like, walk over. Like, you get some really good shots. And obviously the ending shot with the creature about to eat the cameraman. Like, you really get some good... Even with the babies. I love how they're able to keep the scale, but also do the whole found footage thing. I thought they had a nice balance. It wasn't just shit. I'm going to keep saying it. This is one of my reasons I don't really love found footage for the most part, because it's always this shaky cam bullshit. Because I think they think it's realistic. You're going to just be shaking the camera the whole time. But you got to realize, I don't want to watch a movie like that. Not even just me. I feel like most people wouldn't want to watch a movie like that. That's why a lot of times found footage, I think the only time you can maybe get away with it is if you do like horror. Like a low budget horror where it's like ghosts or some shit, you can maybe get away with it. But if you're gonna do a monster movie or even an alien invasion movie, which I guess this kind of could be alien invasion because you find out the creature's an alien, you gotta look it up. But yeah, because they did come from space. But in a movie like this, if you're doing a giant scale creature, I want to see the creature. And if you're gonna do found footage, I still should be able to get some good shots of the creature. And it not just be shaky cam bullshit. You can't get away with that with a movie of this type of scale where you have a giant creature. We want to see that. And I don't want to just be seeing like the camera just shaking the entire time. That shit's not fun to watch. So, but overall, Cloverfield's great. I recommend it. I recommend the second one too. 10 Cloverfield Lane, which you know what? I'll do it. I'll probably do it next week, though. Or sometime technically this coming week, I'll do it. But yeah, I'll check it out. Because I've only seen it once, though, but I remember really liking it the first time. I love how they make you think it's like this survival movie, and it's this guy's just keeping this girl trapped, and you actually find out, no, there's monsters outside. It's actually real. I love 10 Cloverfield Lane, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead, John Goodman are really good. Even the other guy who's in it was pretty good. I really like it. I haven't seen it probably in a long time, but yeah, we'll do it next week. Fuck it. But yeah, the first Cloverfield's great. It's just a fun monster movie. We'll do it sometime next week, but it probably won't be my next review. Next review, definitely either Monday or Tuesday, we will do Scary Movie 3. I'll probably do that one next. Maybe tomorrow if I do a video, it'll be like a discussion video again. I'll figure out what to talk about. And then, yeah, but my next review will probably be Scary Movie 3. But anyways, guys, Cloverfield's a 9 out of 10. I definitely recommend it, especially if you like monster movies. Definitely recommend it. And like I said, it's paced well. It's only like an hour and 24 minutes. It gets going. Once the plot gets going, it gets going, man. It's pretty quick. But other than that, guys, subscribe to Pin Down Podcast. Subscribe to Cowman Reviews. And, yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. All right, y'all.